Yo, welcome to Baggy TV. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. You know what, this stream has been building up. This stream has been building up, and I've been talking about it for a couple of days now because we all knew once the Euros was going to be over, we're going to start to get some breaking news. Apparently, some news regarding Erling Haaland. And today there was two sets of news. The first set, which I reported on in my video earlier today, and if you haven't seen that, you need to go check it out. And then the second one, it broke literally 20 minutes before I started the stream, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. I want to say a big up to Respect to Football Lives. Sorry for being late. Actually, I was late. I was more than 30 seconds late. I was just getting a few things together before the stream. So thank you for being early. Daniel Holloway, hello. Welcome to the stream. DJ Sav, big up. Always good to have you here. If your internet connection can hold it, you might want to jump on and have a chit chat with us. And Loco Costa, old school fan of the channel, welcome to the stream. Have I missed anybody? Abdulaziz was here earlier. Thank you for the flower, mate. Thank you for the rose. Respect, shukran Abdulaziz. Abdulaziz, I read your comment earlier on my video talking about the England thing. With the Erling Haaland apparently being in England. It's a bit of banter, mate. I kind of dragged it on a little bit in the comments, but it's a bit of banter. You never know. He might be in England doing some shopping. We've got some good shops here in London. DJ Sav, welcome to the stream, my man.
Big up, guys. How you guys doing? You all right?
We're good. Bobby, welcome to the stream, my man.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, DJ.
I was speaking to Bobby before the stream started, so I forgot to say hello. I already said hello to him in the backstage. Listen, lads, I want to show you something before we start talking. I'm not sure how to do this properly, but I'm gonna try because it's the first time I'm doing this. Hold on a second. Click on this now. How do I do this? Click here. Where's it here? Click on that, and then go to share screen. I'm sharing a Chrome tab. I'm showing that. So share. Okay. Alright, guys, can you see this? Can you guys see this on the screen?
Yep.
Alright, basically this is a tweet by Christian Falk. Literally tweeted it about half an hour ago, and he's saying Borussia Dortmund keeps saying no to a transfer for Erling Haaland to Chelsea this summer. Alright, now he tweeted that literally half an hour ago. And guys, if I'm sniffling, I'm sorry, but I've had this cold that I've been trying to shake off unsuccessfully. So I apologize, but I'm going to keep on sniffling until this cold is gone. Yeah, so why would he be tweeting that today? Why would Christian Falk be saying this dude ain't going nowhere? Bobby, DJ Savlin, give me your thoughts on this before we kick this off.
There's been a lot of controversial information about this whole Haaland transfer. It's difficult to know what to believe, but stripping this down logically, a lot of the breaking news today came from Jan Anafiotov's tweet that Chelsea were preparing a bid. That was peddled a lot on the football terrace, and different payment structures were also speculated on. That seems quite true. I mean, quite believable. And now Christian Falk coming out and saying that Dortmund keeps saying no. to the transfer of Haaland to Chelsea. Well, that could mean all sorts of things. If they reject a bid, that's a different matter. But they've been saying no all along. So that's not really news. So I don't really know what to make of that. Everybody seems to want to get their voice in on this deal at some point. I'm not sure they're armed with enough information. At this current point in time, the person I will tend to take more seriously is Jan Anafjordov because he has a direct family connection with the Haaland camp. Christian Falk, well, he has been known in the past
He
to
made
come out with
mistakes, didn't he?
inaccuracies. Yeah.
Yeah, he made mistakes. He made mistakes about the Havertz deal. Back in the day, last season. But Christian Falk. Sometimes he gets his spot on. Sometimes he doesn't. It's a bit of a weird one. Why do I have two DJ Sav? All right,
I don't know. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see DJ. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, we're good. I want to just address a comment before I go any further. And again, lads, I'm sorry for sniffling. Got a cold. I want to address this comment by Sidraki. Sidraki, mate. I'm posting UK time, so it was 9:30 UK time. I mean, are you getting it different times? I mean, I don't know. 9:30 UK time. Do you want me to post earlier, mate? I got a life, man. I got things to do. So by the time I get my things done, I can barely make it for 9 o'clock. I mean, sometimes, today I'm early. It's normally 10 o'clock, but I got people that asked me to come in a bit earlier, so I've come in earlier. But Sidraki, mate, I apologize if you're if I'm streaming too late, but it is what it is, mate. If that is the case, if it's something else, let me know. If that is something else, let me know. James Doe, as in John Doe. James Doe, welcome to the stream. Okay, so DJ Sav, let me know. Christian Falk is saying Haaland ain't going nowhere. He's staying at Dortmund. What do you reckon?
Yeah, echoing again, Baggy, what Bobby's actually just echoed on to saying. I mean, until we actually had a bid rejected. I mean, ever since I saw that Christian Falk tweet, I've seen so many other tweets go out today. There was obviously, we were talking about the Jan Anafjordov one. He put a few out today, in fact. The last tweet I saw from Jan Anafjordov, I think I tweeted that one on. He said that apparently Chelsea are going to go in again, and there's a possibility they're going to try and sell the likes of Ziyech, Odoi, and Abraham. Was the last thing I saw Jan Fjordov putting up to get this deal done. However, I've then read since then Roman Abramovich has now tweeted, well, not Roman Abramovich, but someone's tweeted that Roman Abramovich himself has actually says he's going to go all out to get Haaland, and he's going to give the money. He's got the money in place to get Haaland. So I don't know where to go with this, really, who to believe. Christian Falk, I know he's a reliable journalist. He's one of the tier 1 journalists out there.
Yeah.
And so I really don't know. I mean, for me, until this bid is actually being until Chelsea actually get a bid put in place and what we know it's going to be, I mean, we've led to believe it's a lot of things. I mean, the last thing I heard was it was 130 million plus the further add-ons deal going up to 150 million of add-ons within the 2 years. So I really don't know what to believe of it all. I'm going to go by what I've heard. I've heard, obviously, Bobby said on the Football Terrace. I know Terry said some stuff about that as well on there regarding the same deal. But I'm only going to go by what he's saying, because obviously he gets tier 1 journalists coming in there as well that seem to know what they're saying as well. And until obviously Chelsea do put a deal in place, you just don't know what to believe. And for now, I'm just going to say we're going to get him, but it's just a matter of just when. It might just take a bit of time, that's all.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back onto what you just said, DJ, because I've got some points I want to highlight on that. But Sidraki, mate, it is what it is, man. You're 2 hours earlier. I was there for a good while, so I know what it's like. But we're gonna have to make do, and I'll try to stream earlier. I'll try to limit my social life a little bit for you, mate. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll try to stream earlier at some point. DJ, mate, listen. In regards to Erling Haaland, and this is why everyone is here. Erling Haaland, the news that broke this morning, that I reported on in my video, which I think I know Bobby's seen. I think you've seen it as well.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
The price is between 130 to 170 million euros. Okay, that's the price that Chelsea will be bidding. All right, the bid will be in that region. It'll be a little bit more, a little bit less, but it will be in that region. And the interesting point in regards to that bid is there's details about that bid, and that bid will be broken down into 4 installments.
Yep.
Which I think reflects on to what Sidraki has been saying over the past couple of weeks, and that's regarding financial fair play. And the fact that Chelsea can make such a big bid on a player and doing it on a 4-year installment basis will allow us to adhere to some financial fair play. And speaking of the man, he's here. Sidraki, just sit tight 1 second, mate, I'll get to you. So the financial fair play bit is going to play a part, and I think the fact that Chelsea will do it over 4 years, and also keeping. I'm going to mute you for a minute. Yes, Sidraki. I'm getting some feedback, so I'm just muting you for a second. And then we're gonna get the 20 million add-ons in bonuses and appearances and whatnot. It all makes sense to me in regards to this format, in respect to how we're going to be bidding for Erling Haaland. It makes sense to me. But whether or not this information is accurate or not, it's a little bit debatable because the prices vary a lot from 130 million to 170 million. 40 million is a big number. I'm going to bring in Sidraki and get some of his feedback. We haven't seen him on the channel for some time. Okay, you've unmuted yourself. Sidraki, go ahead, mate. How you doing?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. I'm not going to be in long. I think you're misunderstanding me. The notification that I get that you're doing a stream comes up as 11:30. I'm not complaining about the time you're doing it, but my notification is 11:30. So I thought you were going to be 11:30 UK, so I wasn't going to bother, and I was just going to go to bed.
Right. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, no. I stream between 9 and 10 every day. That's the kind of time frame I try to stream in. Normally I end up streaming at 10 because of certain things, but I wanted to get in on this Haaland story. What do you think? I hope Haaland is coming before the start of the season. We all do, wise guy. We all do. Nice name, wise guy. We all want to see Haaland come before the start of the season. Sidraki, mate, the 4 installment payment, over 4 years, possibly 130 to 170 million with a 20 million bonuses. That's some good chunk of detail. What would you think about that?
Well, I've said it before, quite a while ago when we were first linked with him, that it's money we're going to get back at the end of the day, plus more. So it doesn't really bother me. Like you said, the staggered payments and stuff like that is just to spread the cost out over the term of contract, which keeps down the output that way, so keeps our accounts within, because financial fair play is still in existence, right, until after this next coming season, 22-23, they're going to replace it, but they haven't decided what with. Yeah, the only change is that you can spend the 30 million euros over 2 years instead of 3, which was meaning you could spend 15 each year instead of 10 to help with COVID. We've got roughly 150 million in the bank with Champions League, Tomori, Moses. We sold Pison in January, and there's other players going to go, like small transfers. So we got roughly 150 million. So by staggering the payments, it means we can go in for someone else as well. So
Yep.
No big deal to me, the cost, because as long as he comes in, proves himself, we're getting it all back, plus interest when we sell him.
Yeah. His age means that we will definitely get some money back for him. I want to just ask people in the comments, if you haven't liked the video, sorry, if you haven't liked the stream, do us a favor and hit that like button. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'd really much appreciate that. And guys, in the chat, there's a link in the pinned comment. Click on it and jump on, and you can have a banter with us, have a chat with us, give us your points of view straight on the screen. As long as you're polite and courteous, I'm more than happy to hear your points of view, and you can agree, disagree, jump on. I'd love to have you on. What's this guy saying? Baggy, put your own research. Is Haaland for sale or not? Yes, Haaland is for sale. Haaland is for sale at the right price. I think Dortmund are considering not selling him. I think Dortmund would want to keep him for their hopes for the next season, and I think they want to get somewhere in the Champions League, and with Sancho going, Haaland also going, it's going to make it a little bit difficult for them. So I think Haaland will be sold if Chelsea pay the right price. Torre Andre Flo is the last time we had a Norwegian in the team. Was it? I think you're right. Well, it was the last time we had a Norwegian striker in the team. Sadwaki, can you confirm?
Yeah.
Bobby, confirm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the central defender whose name escapes me. And we also had a goalkeeper. Played in the
Frode Grodas.
Played 97 Cup final. And we had a central defender as well. But I'm having a silly moment at the moment because I've just been on my medicine. So I've been on my machine. I don't know why that's escaping me. If it comes back to me, I'll put it.
I know who you mean. The ginger guy. I always forget his name as well. I know Frode Grodas was a Norwegian goalkeeper that we had. Then we had this centre back, and then of course Tor Andre.
Hang on, Erling Jonsson. He was a centre back.
Yeah. I was going to say Erling Jonsson, the centre back.
Yeah. And we had another defender, but his name's escaping me. He quit, and I think he was quite ill when he first quit, and now I think he's doing TV work. I'll remember his name. Like, I'm leaving, right? But I'll still be in the chat. Right, so,
that's Sadwaki. Thanks for jumping on me. I appreciate it, mate.
No problem. I might come back to
All right, mate. Yeah, just take it easy in the comment section, mate. Take it easy in the comment section. Don't get people angry.
Well, that's no point,
It is, man. Banter.
That's the start conversation. The one that answered, I just couldn't see why we would pay 100 million and he would come halfway through the season. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I'll check. Yeah. All right, mate. Cheers, Tav. Thank you. In regards to this comment by Complaints Department TV, mate, I know, but it doesn't do any harm to have it staggered, because it will help with the financial fair play. Maybe we don't need to do it that way, but it won't do us any harm. Chelsea Perspective, thank you for jumping on in the chat. Really appreciate you. Lads, listen, Chelsea Perspective produces some fantastic content. Seriously, I mean, the content that Chelsea Perspective produces is different. Most of us Chelsea YouTubers, we produce Chelsea related content regarding a specific format, or a set format, where we talk about the news, we talk about what's happening, and try to update the news with our point of view. Chelsea Perspective takes it a little bit different. He takes it a little bit different, and he tries to give you a varied type of content. So go check him out, and if you enjoy his content, subscribe, and if you don't, just don't subscribe, innit? But I think you will enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy Chelsea Perspective. What's Abdulaziz saying? Abdulaziz is saying 175, I guess, million euros. Borussia Dortmund still said no. Nah. That's not what it is, mate. That's not what it is. If we pay that money, they're kissing our hand and they're giving us Haaland. But Chelsea will not pay that money. Chelsea will try to pay less, try to stagger the payment, try to use bonuses, try to do a lot of different variations. Marina Granovkaia ain't gonna make it easy for Dortmund to get their way, you know. But I think we will pay that money eventually if we have to, because we do need a striker. And we're going to talk about Antoine Griezmann in a minute, because he's going to play a part in this conversation. I'm going to avoid talking about Lukaku, because I think Lukaku, we've done that a lot on this channel. But we will give Antoine Griezmann a little bit of our time. Chelsea perspective, thanks so much for the shout out, brother. No, mate, you don't have to thank me. You're doing a great job. And I wish more people would try to emulate what you're doing. So respect for your work, man. Appreciate your support as well on Baggy TV. Bobby, do you reckon Chelsea will be paying that 175, or do you reckon they'll be trying to get in for less?
Clearly, the Chelsea way would be to try and get him for less. But I think at this point, the pricing, the structuring of the deal, and what have you, is quite clear to us. One of the reasons why I feel we will get this guy is that, the financial aspect. We have various ways with which we can meet a decent offer. Even if the worst comes to the worst, buy him and send him back on loan for a year. We have so many things to offer in this deal that it makes less and less sense to me for Dortmund to decline it. And also the noise around this tells me that there must be something happening. For Christian Falk to come out, remember, he's a German journalist, and he will have his German bias.
Yeah.
And for him to come out and say, Dortmund's still saying no, although he didn't actually say what they're saying no
Bobby,
to.
I might be wrong on this, but isn't Falk also linked to Bayern Munich? Doesn't he have a strong connection with Bayern Munich?
There you go. Yes, he does. He does. As I say, all these journalists, they usually have their allegiances, and they usually publish and speak and broadcast with their allegiance in mind, and that skews or puts a bias on a lot of the content they come out with. Having said that, I don't think what he's saying is totally wrong, but I think the context is well misplaced. There's all sorts out there. There's talk of
it's totally wrong.
So
Julius, Julius, I'm getting an echo. Carry on, Bobby.
There's talk of City might be interested, although I just think that's just to lure Chelsea to table a bid. We won't know the truth behind this until Chelsea bid. And Chelsea will not bid until an agreement has relatively been reached. So it's just a matter of time. I have a feeling this deal will reach a significant move on or before the end of this week.
Yep. I'm just opening up something here on my screen that I want to introduce. Firstly, Julius, welcome to the stream.
Hello, how are you, boys?
Hi, Julius. Hi, welcome.
We're good. Julius, wanna show you something, and I want you to tell me a little bit about this. If I can find it. This one. Shit. Talk to me about this, man. This is your article that you've published, right? Today.
Yes.
All right, talk to me about it, man.
It's basically on why we should sign Haaland, and I talk about the potential impact that this player could have on the team from a footballing perspective and from business perspective and even morale and mentality. I think it's a no-brainer, honestly.
Is it okay? You've seen the reports. Guys, listen. If you wanna read this this article by Julius, I'm putting it in the chat. So there's a link in the chat. Don't go all reading it now, okay? Just cut and paste, cut it, paste it, and then read it afterwards because I think you'll enjoy the content and the effort that Julius puts into a lot of his work and his articles. So make sure you guys give that a read. Julius, my man, Christian Falk literally tweeted about half an hour ago, just over half an hour ago, that Erling Haaland ain't going nowhere, he's staying. Jan Foytov earlier in the day was talking about the different price tags and the different ways that Chelsea could be getting Erling Haaland. And we know that Jan Argo Foytov has close ties to the Haaland family. So, you know, when he speaks about Haaland, people tend to listen.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the Haaland situation and where we stand today? Is it more towards what Christian Falk has said, or more towards what Jan Argo Foytov has said?
To be honest, I wasn't aware of the Christian Falk tweet recently, but I did see the Jan's tweet, and I said this from the beginning, Baggy, that in my opinion, the biggest difficulty that we could face getting Haaland is if Dortmund, no matter what you pay, will not sell this year. That's it. There is no other way. Chelsea
is that a possibility?
Yes. If Dortmund just don't want to sell, that's it. They don't want to sell. It is what it is. But
175 million.
Sorry?
No. 175 million and they won't sell?
Again, that comes to how they plan on doing things. Because if they have a plan in place saying, okay, you know what? Maybe it's more worth it for us to keep Haaland because we're not going to have maybe enough time to purchase the players that we need. Maybe they didn't have a plan in place to get rid of Haaland this summer so they can replace him with young talent and stuff. Or they could just strike a deal that we're not aware of between them and Chelsea. Maybe put 100 mil now or 110 million pounds now or whatever the fee is. Loan him back to Dortmund for one season. That way, Chelsea can secure the deal for next year. Nobody will be able to get him. At the same time, Dortmund will be able to keep the player for 1 year. Both sides will be happy with that. But this is where it gets tricky with this one, where Haaland could not feel comfortable with it for a couple of reasons. And the reasons are, in my opinion, is Haaland does not want to probably tie his future with Chelsea from now, not guaranteeing that Chelsea is going to do well next season. And from how that transfer window is not looking promising, to be honest with you. So it's tough. It is very tough. Now, nobody knows. No journalist, I think, knows, neither Christian Falk or Jan or whoever, if Dortmund will accept 170 million or no. Fabrizio Romano come out and say, they're gonna have to break the bank for them to get it done. But if Dortmund are just not gonna sell no matter what, then all of that talk is useless. So let's see how it goes. But I am very shocked, if you ask me, and this information I didn't get it from anybody. This is all my personal analysis. If you ask me about it, like my how I would predict this how it would end, I'm very shocked that Chelsea has been working on this deal apparently for the past 4 months, and if Chelsea knew that there is no way Dortmund is going to accept, no matter how much money you pay, no way Dortmund will sell Haaland, then what the hell are we doing for the past 4 months then? So there is a lot of gaps and things that are being reported that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, Julius, this is for you and for Bobby to think about. The reports that have been coming out over the past few days and quite intensely today as well, regarding Chelsea's interest in Antoine Griezmann. Could that have a bearing on the situation of Haaland? I mean, because what you said about him being bought and allowed to stay at Dortmund for another year, I can see that happening. I actually think that might be the way we're gonna go. And could Antoine Griezmann be coming in to cover that? Could Antoine Griezmann be coming in to partner with Haaland? Because Chelsea do have an issue when it comes to strikers, and we are going to lose, potentially, we're going to lose two strikers, and that's Giroud and Tammy Abraham. I for one, would like to see us give Tammy Abraham another chance, but it does look like Tammy Abraham will be out of the club this window. And if he is, and Giroud is also out, then Griezmann coming to Chelsea is a viable option because we really don't have a replacement. I am less inclined to believe Lukaku is coming day by day. The way things are going, Lukaku is not going to be an option for Chelsea, I don't think. With what was happening with Inter Milan and what's happened with him, talking about he wants to stay at Inter, etc., etc. I can't see that happening. So, what do you guys think about the Griezmann situation? I want to know what you guys think about Griezmann coming to Chelsea and how that plays a role in regards to Haaland. And that's to both Bobby and Julius.
Yeah, I think there's two possibilities here. It's either Chelsea pushed this Griezmann rumor out to kind of play a game with Dortmund that, okay, you know what, we're maybe looking for someone else. Just to put a little bit more pressure that if you don't want to sell us or you don't want to negotiate with us about Haaland, then you may lose £70 million extra profit on him. So we're just going to move on to Griezmann. Or the other scenario is Chelsea literally panicking like usual and are starting to give up and are actually planning on an alternative now that knowing that Barcelona are desperate and they're offering Griezmann apparently to Chelsea. They're going to look into it. That is the worst case scenario. I don't believe Griezmann is good enough right now. I used to be a big fan of him 3 years ago. I think he's bang average right now. 30 years old, astronomical wages. It doesn't make sense to me. But let's see how it's nobody knows anything, to be honest with you. Let's see how it pans out at the end. It's a big debate, the Haaland situation right now. I really believe, in my opinion, if we put 150 million on the table, Haaland will be ours. But who knows?
Yeah.
My article would dive in a lot of more details. I'm not going to get into it right now, but it dives a lot of details on why Haaland should come to Chelsea.
Yeah. Again, lads, in the chat, I've posted a link to the article. Go check it out when you have time. Chelsea perspective says Griezmann comes with a lot of risk. Bobby, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was listening with interest to Julius, who I must say, when I first spoke or heard Julius speak on your stream, I didn't really think that much of him. I thought, oh, who is this guy? But with time, I've developed so much respect for him, the content he puts out, the things he says. He's become a favorite of mine. Chelsea Perspective today put out a video with Michaela where they did some scouting. They do this scouting video. And he mentioned this guy, Vlahovic, excuse my pronunciation, from Fiorentina.
Yeah.
Now, Vlahovic, that's it. The Griezmann story, his wages are super wages. Barcelona desperate, trying to get rid of players because they can't even register the players they've made promises to come in, like what's that guy from Man City? Sergio. Oh gosh, what's the Man City striker?
Aguero.
Sorry, Sergio
Yeah.
Aguero. So there is a lot of complexities in this window at the moment, in and around the Haaland deal. You know, people trying to push their own players, Chelsea allowing some things to fly just to make it look like, you know, there are other options. My personal feeling is Chelsea are very focused on Haaland. The permutations with which we can get this guy, even and including a buy, return for loan to come to us next year, like we've already done with Pulisic, I think is very possible. Getting an agreement from the player to do that, I think is also possible. The rumor out there is that there is an agreement in place with the player and indeed his agent. So it's a very much a wait and see situation. Do I want Griezmann at Chelsea? I tend to feel like Julius. I think maybe his ship has sailed. Just like with Lukaku, I think his ship has sailed. As a A-list marquee signing, he no longer is that, and that's what Chelsea need.
Would you take him for 20 million and half of his wages?
Well, it's a good consideration, but then if that's the case, why not go for Vlahovic, who I think would roughly be the same deal, and a younger player.
He's not on the radar right now. I mean, you know, talking about players on the radar, do you guys remember last season when Chelsea had Chiesa on their radar and they just didn't follow through?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Chiesa, man. Yeah.
Although, you know, Chiesa, he did well in the Euros, and I really admire his performances. But doing well in the Euros and doing well in a 38-game Premier League season with defenders kicking lumps out of you because of the way he plays is two different things. So I wouldn't get too upset about that. He is an excellent player, but we've got excellent players in our team as it is. So I just think, well, it is what it is. We can't have everybody.
Do you guys think the Azuri left back should be given a chance at Chelsea?
Emerson. Well, he's been with us for a while. I mean, why not? The sad thing with Emerson is his consistency. If we can get consistency out of Emerson, he's a great player. But he did appear to be the weak link in that game yesterday. You know, England targeted that area and got joy in that area. But then, having said that, as the game progressed, he became more solid. It's a difficult one. But if he stayed, I wouldn't, be upset.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Emerson for me is a player I'd like to see stay at Chelsea. Marcus Alonso to go, Emerson to stay. But I think really, as the club is trying to sell and trying to generate money to buy players, I think Emerson will probably be the one to go. Now, there was a report that again was released. I'm trying to remember the source of the report. Maybe you guys can help me out. Just before the stream started, and it said that Chelsea will be selling 3 players to generate funds to acquire big signings, i.e. Haaland. And those 3 players that were mentioned were Hakim Ziyech, Tammy Abraham, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. I've got my opinion on this, but I want to hear your thoughts on this. I'll start with DJ. DJ, what's your thoughts on this particular report? And do you know the source of it? Do you remember who?
Yeah, Jan Fiotov was the one who said that. That was what I said at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
It was Fiotov. Yeah, I mean, for me, look, I personally would not get rid of Hakim Ziyech. I mean, the guy's only had 1 season. I think he needs to be given an opportunity next season. Callum Hudson-Odoi, everybody knows how I feel about Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't personally think we should sell him. I think he needs to be given an opportunity in that team next season. I think he'll thrive next season. I think from what I understand from from it all is that Thomas Tuchel's already spoken to him anyway, and Hakim Ziyech says he doesn't want them to go, and they're both willing to. Well, I know Odoi's come out and says he's happy to stay and fight for his place. Hakim Ziyech, the club itself has said they don't want to sell him because they want to, give him another season. I think the only one really, if we're going to talk about a sell, probably will be Tammy Abraham. And again, do I want to see Tammy go? If we're not going to bring anybody else in, so we don't get Haaland in, I would just still stay with Tammy Abraham. I would not let him go. I'd personally keep him, just see how he does. At least give him see what he does in pre-season before making a decision. So yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on it all. I mean, but I thought we'd have had enough money in place anyway to get this Haaland deal without really sacrificing any of those three players.
Yeah.
Okay, can I respond quickly? I know Julius needs a turn. I don't really believe that story. I think the only person of that trio that could possibly be sold would be Tammy, and I agree with DJ that Tammy won't be sold until we are certain of another striker, if he's even going to be sold at all. I don't know if any of you watched the training videos. This time there are training videos on the fifth stand. I don't know. You might know. I do a lot of. I do body language. I try to perceive things from what people say, how they act, and it gives me an idea of where they are in their mind. And I looked at that video. Yeah, you can say it's only a few video clips here and there, but I just have this feeling that Thomas Tuchel is going to dip into the academy for a couple of players for the squad this season. Definitely. So some of these areas that we think we're looking for people vis-a-vis a Declan Rice of this world, it may not be that certain. And Baggy's gone. Shall I continue, lads?
Yeah, you can, Bobby.
And,
I think so.
Sure. I just think that the feel I got out of the whole interaction, the way he was playing around with Callum Hudson-Odoi, even his embrace with Tammy Abraham. This man is not going to just kick off the guys that gave him the European Champions League that easily. And I think the funds to get Haaland are already in place. We don't need to worry about selling players that we don't need to. And as for Hakim Ziyech, I don't see him going anywhere. Honestly, it just doesn't make any sense. Unless someone comes and drops 200 million, then yeah, they can have it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Julius, what's your thoughts on this topic, mate?
Sorry, is it regarding the players we're selling?
Yeah. Hakim Ziyech, Callum, and Tammy.
Yeah. So sorry because I'm still working, so I multitask. So sometimes I get distracted all of a sudden. I don't think Hakim Ziyech should be sold. I think he's an unbelievable talent with his link-up plays and his passing abilities. I think Ziyech was a victim of us not having a proper number 9. A lot of the times he gave key passes, and they didn't end up going in back at the back of the net, and people just fall into that trap by looking at stats. He didn't have the best numbers, so everyone is thinking, okay, maybe he's not good enough. He didn't have a great season. In my opinion, he had an amazing season, and it's just about time that his performance on the pitch would reflect on his numbers. Because if you watch the games, you'll have more context, and I think people will realize that he's an important figure in the squad. Even he had a lot of contribution, I think, in that Champions League campaign last season. So I think he shouldn't be sold. No.
I think you need to answer the phone, Julius. In regards to what you said, I agree. I think that if there is one that's going to be sold, it's probably Tammy Abraham out of those three. Ziyech will be staying. I think Ziyech needs to be staying for us to fully see his abilities, because this coming season is going to be different, a different kettle of fish to the last one. In regards to all the players, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, and the rest of the boys. This comment here by Daniel. There wasn't a tweet by Roman. There was tweets suggesting that Roman has decided to go all in for Haaland, and that's been tweeted for a few weeks now. But yeah, I'm not surprised that tweet is there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Roman put a lot of money into this. The ship for Abraham has sailed a while ago, maybe. Sorry, lads. So that's where we are. In regards to this transfer window and the stories. Lads, I'm a little bit under the weather today, so I do apologise. I'm going to cut the stream early, but hopefully we'll have some more news coming up in the next couple of days.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always Baggy. Yeah, it was always Baggy. Great great being on your show, mate, and thank you again for having us on.
Cheers, lads. And again, I apologise for cutting the stream
That's
early,
all right.
but I'm not feeling great. But I
hope
wanted to
you
get the
feel
stream
better.
out because I put. Thank you. Yeah, I promised you guys in my video that I'll be making the stream. So even though I wasn't feeling too good, I thought I'll keep my promise with you guys. All right, boys.
All right, man.
I'll catch you all tomorrow. Take care.
Take
Have a
care.
good one.
Good night, everyone. Take care. Peace out, everyone.
Good to see you all.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cheers.